All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Championship Sunday of the East Coast Ice Battle. We have some semifinal action in the 2016 age group between the NB Ice and the Silverbacks.
In our last game in the 2017, the Silverbacks took a 3-2 win over the Extreme Hockey in the 2016. Looks to replicate and do the same. Your goaltenders for this morning for the NB Ice, it's number 34, Vince Massey. And for the Silverbacks, it's number 29, Noel McKenzie. And as of right now, we have no officials. So teams are going to go back to their respective benches as we wait for some stripes to get on the ice.
Well, the NBA so far with a pretty dominant run in the tournament with only one loss on their record.
And saving for the Silverbacks, but regardless, whoever gets their second loss today will be sent home.
Well, whichever way you put it, this is sure to be an interesting matchup.
And it looks like they're going to go back on, or at least the Silverbacks are going to hit a couple more laps to get their legs warm.
So what do you think are going to be some of the keys for the game today?
Like it's been all tournament, guard those points and guard that front of the net. That is where every goal has been scored so far, from either a rebound, from a point shot, or a shot from the blue line just goes in.
Well, to add on to that, I think discipline, just like in any hockey game, is always going to be a factor, whichever way you want to put it. I think as long as you stay out of a box, you will get the W. Not only that, but also control your temper. We've seen this weekend tempers gain out of hand, not only on the ice, but also in the stands between parents.
Especially now with these semifinals, all the players and parents know if you're down by a couple goals late stages, you're probably done. And here we go, we have our officials entering the ice surface. So we're gonna have a hockey game for you. After a bit of a delay, back here with 12 on the clock, getting ready for the first period of action here in this one. Taking the draw, it's Reed. He's going to go up against, I believe there, that is Fourchere. Poking around the net of McKenzie there. Here we go, starting us off. A tie-up off the draw. Going to be brought in by the Silverbacks. Walking in here, cutting to the net. Quick shot save made by Massey. Another try, right loose out in the blue paint. Looking for it is Reed. Still a scramble for it. Goes up to the blue line. Riley McDonald waits, winds up with a blast, and this one's blocked. And the Ice go back the other way with speed. Here we go. What a start to this game here. Walking in, Fourchere passes to his left. The shot save made by the pad of McKenzie. Jackson Reed recovering in his own zone, trying to move that up the wall. Attempting to poke at it for the ice there was Comier. Ice with it in the middle, little backhand. That's going to be saved by McKenzie. And had the puck right next to him. And what a first 45 seconds here into this one. A quick scramble in front of the net, and then this chance for the Ice. Fourchere going across, and there's a shot that's saved by McKenzie. Face-off going to be taken by Kong and Jack Martin here for their respective teams. It's Martin that wins the draw. Now goes up to the blue line. Trying to put it down deep into the zone was Beckwith. Shot out, back for Beckwith. He's unable to hold Kong here as he now tries to move it up the wall, blocked by McClellan. Kong again. Trying to move it back into the corner. With it is Whitehead. Going to the line. Berkvins waits, puts it down against the wall, intending to get that for Whitehead. That one's blocked by Beckwith and outside the zone. Stopped by Berkvins and put back in. LeBlanc on it for the NB Ice. Working around, gets to about the ring out line before he lays a tape pass to McClellan. Rory McClellan up with the shot and off the blocker and then off the post. And what a great chance for the NB Ice. Again, in this game, both teams each with their respective strengths. And now here's Trevor Kong, leader in points over the Silverbacks, and he's poked before he could enter the zone. Martin trying to move his way back. Left off for Lejeau. Lejeau waiting, cutting to the middle. Backhander missed just wide. McClellan now recovering with possession behind the net. Flips it against the boards. McClellan protecting the puck. Tries to move it up to the line. Waiting, shooting. Here's Cumby, and that one doesn't get all the way through. Apologies. That's Dumas. This one lifted the length of the ice. It's a rolling puck, and this one's not going to get down for an icing. This one's picked up by Yannick Lejeau, moving around his cage.
Well, we can see very early on in the game, the NB Ice defenseman playing really aggressively, staying even at the ringette line, trying to get some shots on the goalie.
And that was one of our keys to the game, to protect those points. And even on the side of the Silverbacks, they've had some shots on the blue line early into this one. And here they are, moving outside the zone. Puck is rolling, giving chase. Here is Daigle. And just going to be called an icing for our first whistle in a couple minutes at 9:15 of the first period. Score on the score clock, still from our last game. But it is 0-0 here in this one between the NB Ice and the Silverbacks. Only other live game in action, it's the other semifinal. The Extreme Hockey are up 1-0 on the Riptide on IGA. The winner of both of those games will face off later today in the finals at the Dieppe IGA at 1:45. Silverbacks outside their zone. Picking and rushing up with speed is Ruzic keeping. Into the zone along the wall now by Gabe Savoie. Held in at the line to the blue line. Dempsey with the shot. Bouncing puck. The rebound. And another great save made by Massé off a quick rebound. Definitely was not expecting a shot that fast. Riley McDonald with the shot deflected. Loose out in the blue paint. Looking for it was Reed, but smothered here by Massé.
The NBA is doing a pretty good job at smothering those point shooting lanes. As you saw there, they had two players right behind each other, able to get that out of danger.
That's a good ratio out in front when there's two NBA defenders and one Silverback out in front. Usually able to tie off that stick at the blue line. A shot again from the blue line. That one never made it through. NBA move it back the other way. Potential 2-on-2 developing. Working up with speed is Rory McClellan. Move to the wall. Cut in front. Turnaround shot in front. Looks for Lejeau with the shot. And a close chance there. Ever so close to a 2-on-1 going back the other way for the Silverbacks. Chipped in by Dagda. Here, open shot. Save made by McKenzie. That one from Jack Martin. Working back, Jack Martin. Passer in the slot. Backhander just wide of the net. That one taken by Cowper. I tried to move it up against the wall. Blocked in by LeBlanc. Moving in. Cutting to his backhand. Moving to his forehand. In the middle as a shot saved by McKenzie. It's up on top of the net. And that's where it will be whistled down off of McKenzie. One unlucky bounce away from giving up the first goal here in this one.
Well, both teams having great opportunities very early on in this game, but still no score so far.
And it's been the NB Ice all up in the zone of the Silverbacks. Within this past minute, there was Bro trying to put it in the zone. Up with speed is Reed. Against Tristan Bro, put to the middle where it shot back out where it came from. here holding it at the line. Sent back by Berkvins. Ice move it outside the zone. It's Dumais giving chase on it. Put back along the wall by Berkvins for Reed, and then sent in by Whitehead. In the middle now, it's taken up. Legal moving in. Long shot. That one missed the net. Now cutting back across the net. Dumais out for Legal. Out in the slot. They score!
Oh, the puck finds the NB Ice player. 4 Silverbacks in the crease, but none of them are able to get a stick on it.
It's a scramble in the crease that finds its way to the tape. I believe that's Yannick Legal going to be assisted to Dumais here in this one. So the NB Ice are up to a strong 1-0 lead, getting to midway through this first period. A race for the puck. Going back with it is Lou. Picked up by the Silverbacks, and now a pass up through center. Trying to windmill Deeks now as McNeil had got about to the blue line before he was promptly swept away. A hit along the boards, and now the Silverbacks try to make it back the other way. Kong stepping up, tangled up here with McCarthy. They'll go down, and that's going to be McCarthy, I believe.
Well, the NB Ice coach is trying to make a case for a hold on Trevor Kong, but it looks like their calls will not be heard.
Looked like they had wanted a hold on the stick, but it's going to be Felix McCarthy that's heading to the box for the NB Ice. We'll now give our first power play chance of the game here in this one, and it's going to go in favor of the Silverbacks, and they look to tie this one up. Loose off the draw, taken back by Bro. Behind his cage, he's going to try to throw it up against the glass. This one just held in at the line here by Lou. Lou again going to hold the line. Goes rink wide. What a play. The shot from Ruzig, keeping the save made. Again, Ruzig keeping at the line. A pass off a skate. The Ice go back the other way. Trying to make a move there was Graham. Shot into the middle. Kong trying to move his way past Martin. Now goes back for Dagle. Dagle turning it over. Kong, the shot. Save made by Massé. Again, put along the wall, and this one's going to go down the ice. Stopped by McKenzie. McKenzie going to move it over for Lou. Jeremy Lou continuing out in his defensive zone. I tried to get that over to Kong. Now that's stripped. Here's a shot from McClellan. The save made by McKenzie. And Rory McLennan, a great job on the penalty kill. Now they battle up behind the net. Still loose, unsure where the puck exactly is before it's taken out here by Kong. Trevor Kong trying to put it outside the zone. This one's blocked in. Rory McClellan bringing it back in with speed before he's quickly poke checked. Here's Lou. Coming up again out of his zone, still with possession. Jeremy Lou steps in, has a bit of room. He is upended quickly there by Gabe Savoie. And almost going to get back. Here's Dunphy. Moving back in his own end is Fouchel. Trying to go up the wall again. Blocked at the line by McDonald. Reed, what a move. Reed shot just missed the net. Jackson Reed almost with a gorgeous move is blocked at the last second. There's a shot that almost gets on net from the blue line.
NBI struggling to put together a breakout as the Silverbacks are all over the puck.
Shot from the blue line, that's saved by the glove of Massé as the power play now expires. It's loose as it gets towards the corner, and the NBS will now bring it out of the zone. With speed, Rory McClellan bringing it up, pass to the middle. He hits his man, turning around, trying to shoot his McCarthy, and fans on it. Got to be taken out by the Silverbacks. They move into the corner. It's McCarthy and Dempsey fighting their way. And we have a whistle. Unsure exactly what, and we'll have faceoff will still go into the zone of the Silverbacks. To the right of McKenzie. One by the ice. There's a quick shot off the draw. Looked to have been Nevo with a quick shot right off the draw. McKenzie didn't look like he expected it. Bishop trying to work his way up the benches. Taken back by Kong as he lays a soft dish off for Whitehead. Pass across Bishop. Now in a foot race with Dagda. Along the wall it'll go, trapped in at the line by McDonald. Dagda trying to move his way out. This one past McDonald. Potential 2-on-1. Led here by Dumais. He has Ligel with him. Dumais, Ligel, shot, just missed the net. What a beautifully played 2-on-1. Here's Eitz with another shot, saved by McKenzie, and the rebound goes over to McDonald. Another try, backhander, saved by McKenzie, and what a 2-on-1 played. But it's Ligel that just couldn't quite get it on the net. Let's have another look at that one. As Dumais came in with a nice little saucer pass. That one just misses the net. It's now less than 3 to go here in period 1. Face-off won by the NB Ice. Cross ice going to Bro with a shot blocked off the skate of Berkfins. And she's now going to bring it out across the blue, across the red. Going to dump it in, initiate a jump and chase. Back off the wall is Berkfins and try to get that to Reed. He touches up, but he is offside. Here with just over 2.5. And an update over from IGA. The Riptide have taken a quick 2-1 lead at the end of the first with 2 quick goals. And they are now up and in position to make the finals. Berkfins along the wall. McNeil trying to bring it in. He was poke checked by Fulshell, then had another try. Reed trying to go along the wall. He gets his stick lifted by McCarthy, and he now brings it into the zone. McCarthy waits and shoots. Saved by the chest of McKenzie. That taken by Berkfins and behind the net. Along for Ruse keeping. Trying to get this one outside the zone. He now gets in a pinup of the puck right next to him. The Silverbacks defensive door. Back behind the net, Cowper trying to hit McNeil. This one he knocks it down right out of the air. Some good hand-eye coordination, but now has 2 NB Ice players right on him. Berkfins again, gonna have a trip around her net. Stops, looks the other way, a good fake now, gets it over to McNeil. McNeil up the wall. LeBlanc back on it for the ice. Goes D to D. And a pass in the middle, picked off by Reed. He'll put it back for LeBlanc, who now accelerates through center. LeBlanc in offside, as it's now down to the final minute here of period 1.
Well, the NBA setting up some pretty good neutral zone passing lanes across the ice, but the Silverbacks clogging up all of their lanes, denying them those zone entries.
Some great defense played so far by the Silverbacks, and both teams been a very defensive period and a goaltending duel here in this one. Down the wall and around the net goes Lou. Puts it up against the wall. This one's going to be held in by Bro. Back behind the net again for Dumais. Takes it down as it's right out in the slot. Dumais curling around, fakes going one way and tried to fake wraparound. And the Silverbacks now with some room as they get down to the last 30 seconds here of the first. It's Kong in, trying to dangle through a couple, and the shot is blocked by the feet of Bro. Behind the net with speed, Dagda. A perfect outlet pass as they break out. And it now goes back. Lou, pass through center to Kong. Makes his way past Nevo. Kong in, trying to get a shot off in these last couple seconds. NB Ice outside, Dumais. Skating with speed on Lou. Dumais trying to cut around, needs a shot quickly. And that's some great defense by Jeremy Lou. Upending Dumais, and that will be our first period. Going to be a 1-0 NB Ice lead, and that one coming at 6:56. It's Ligel from Dumais. second period about to get underway between the Ice and the Silverbacks. And if you're a fan of any of these two teams, our next stream will be pretty familiar. It's the NB Ice and the Silverbacks again, the 2015 born. And they will duel to try to qualify for the finals. Right out in front, the shot save made by Massé.
Massé putting on an amazing performance so far, shutting down most Silverback scoring opportunities.
And Vance Massé right here with a little bit of a cross crease that he takes a little backhand and robs it with the glove. Another shot from the blue line by McDonald, and that one went off ahead and wide. Ice try to work it out of their zone. There's Reed causing some disruption. The Ice do get it out of the zone, but it now goes back for Dempsey. Along the wall, this one blocked by Savoie and kept into the zone. Moved in between the feet of Bishop. A pass up out of the zone. It tried to hit Reed and is now brought back in by Nico Leblanc. Leblanc works by one, has a bit of room. All Ice players trailing, and here hits one of them. The shot save made by McKenzie.
McKenzie doing a great job at redirecting that shot away from the net. I mean, most goalies his age, the rebound would just plop in front of him, but he's using that stick well.
And especially that would have been dangerous. All NB Ice players coming off a change, and we're gonna have a penalty here. They had about 3 or 4 NB Ice players that were playing the trailer. And we're gonna have an NB Ice power play coming up.
It's a really big opportunity for the NB Ice to extend their lead here early in the second period.
They're gonna get their first power play of the game, and it's going to be Ryland McDonald off for a trip, I believe. It's behind the net of the NB Ice, of the Silverbacks, excuse me. Ligel walking in, the shot saved, they scored!
And that puck seems to take a bounce off of McKenzie's glove and just trickles in.
It looked like McKenzie had made the saves. It drops right in front of him and then somehow trickles its way into the net.
As we mentioned pregame, discipline is going to be a very important factor, and right there we see firsthand.
I believe that was just 6 seconds into the man advantage. So both of these teams now are wary to stay out of the box. Moving back with it for the Ice, it's Bro. Curling back behind his net. He'll move it along the wall as Kong now chasing McClellan before he breaks free. McClellan skates into the zone. What a toe drag. McClellan, the shot. Save made. And what a great couple moves. Rory McClellan skating in and absolutely undressing the Silverbacks defenseman. Gonna have another try here. Saved by McDonald in the glove. And this time he'll hold on to where no rebounds are present. NB Ice winning the draw. This one will just get to the blue line and now be taken out by Reed. Jackson Reed trying to hold on to possession here, cutting wide. Reed put it on net, saved by Massé. And he'll elect to cover for a whistle.
Oh, we're seeing some rough stuff after whistles over there.
And already getting started that early stages of the second period. Hopefully this one's staying tame throughout. Lou cutting in his forehand shot. Attempted redirection by Reed, but it still ends up wide of the net. Reed keeping it in the zone. About every player right up against the NB Ice bench, as now it's sent back in. Leblanc trying to move it around the boards. Sent back up to the blue line. Waiting and moving it across there. I believe that was Graham. Now Lou. Moving his way back in the zone, barely managing to stay on side. A good job there, but is quickly upended. And the Silverbacks now go back the other way. This one's moved across by Fleming. Across for Graham. Graham trying to move it up against the boards, brought back in by the NB Ice. Offside called, but it did not look like Beckwith had actually touched the puck when going into the zone.
Well, some extra pushes and shove is becoming more frequent behind plays. This game already starting to get chippy.
It feels like playoff hockey, and it is here. You know, some one-game take-all here in the semifinals. Riley McDonald, first shift from coming out of the box, taking the penalty, which led to an NBI's power play goal, pinning up in the corner, and blowing it down pretty quickly. So we'll have an offensive zone draw coming up for the NB Ice. Trying that again. Ice at the line. The shot saved by McKenzie. And the rebound had gone out to about the face-off dot. And taken away by the Silverbacks. Here's Trevor Kong up with speed. Avoiding full shell, then cutting back to the neutral zone. Tied up with Cormier. Kong moving it across. Bishop entering the zone. What a pass. Over for Whitehead. Trying to get a shot off. And that's deflected by the stick of Masin out into the corner. Been blocking at the line. Here's Fulchal, 2-on-1, taking the shot, and it's just above the net and onto the glass. McCarthy trying to move it down deep into the zone. It's taken out. Here's Bishop leading the rush, trying to get by defenseman Savoie, and it's Gabe Savoie that throws it out into the middle. Kong moving back into the zone along the wall, gets past Daigle. Kong in with Whitehead and trying to move it across. A good play. Gabe Savoie to break that one up. Now Ice leave the zone. McDonald having to back check quickly. It's Rory McClellan up with the puck. Watch out for him. Considering what he did last night, showing off some dirty dangles. Move back in now, Martin. Back into the blue line. Waiting the shot here from Beckwith, and that one just got to the net. Savoie, blue line, waits and shoots. It's high, and it's deflected, and it hits off the pad of McKenzie. A scramble in front and behind the net. This one moved against to the wall. Ice player going down. Behind the net now goes Martin. Thrown out in front, save made by McKenzie.
So for the NBA, is doing a really good job at pressuring the Silverbacks and keeping them in their zone. You know, cycling the puck to the defenseman, getting deflections in.
And that is a huge reason they are up 2-0 right now on the Silverbacks, not allowing them any space to get out of their zone. And they've spent the majority of this game, and especially this second period, in their offensive zone. Ice still with it. Cycling the puck, slaps off in the blue line from Daigle. That one never made it through. Another try. This one will be dumped in now for Cowper. Cowper trying to exit his zone. He will with a nice pass up for Ruzig keeping. Moving in, sent it across from McNeil. McNeil cutting back at the ring-out line against the boards, and the Ice quickly take it back out. Yannick Legal cutting back. That lets a couple Silverbacks off his tail. Now Daigle at the blue line stepping in with the shot, and that one's redirected and just wide of the net. Now here out in front behind the net, put out there, side of the net looking for it. At the line, Leblanc trying to stand his ground against McNeil. Attempted clear, still kept in. And what a play by Neve. Keeping it in the zone for the time being, but will now be flipped outside. Will hop over, sticking with Silverback. And that gives an opportunity for the NB Ice, making some changes here. Neve trying to put it into the zone. Moves back out, taken. Dumas steps in, cuts to the right, shooting in and out of the glove of McKenzie, and now goes behind the net. Silverbacks now get a bit of a collision as they go up against the boards. Cowper skating back over the ring-out line outside his zone. Cowper taken down, and that's going to be a tripping call against the NBA. Tucked up by Fulchal. And we are going to have our first Silverbacks power play.
So this power play is going to be very important for the Silverbacks. Their momentum hanging in the balance here. They're going to go at 100%, trying to get their first goal to cut the NB Ice lead in half.
That's going to be Alexa Commier, 2 for a trip at 5 minutes exactly here in period 2. And Ice will quickly be able to clear. That's going to go all the way to McKenzie. Moving forward is Graham. Quickly sent down along the ice by McCarthy. Graham now pins on McCarthy. It's on for Kong. Trying to move his way outside the zone. It gets free and goes for Bishop, who lays a backhander against the boards, and now it's shot back in by the backhand of Fouchel. Skating for it is Lou. Moves it up against the wall, now to the middle for Kong. Kong has some space, and he's going to use it. Kong cutting wide, and unfortunately losing an edge, so that ends his rush, and a Silverbacks penalty coming up. And it will go for interference, so now it's going to be a 4-on-4 coming up here.
Well, like we said earlier, stay out of the box.
And right after Kong had gone down, it's going to be on the right of your screen here. Just a little collision with a Silverback and an ND Ice player. So we're now going to be a 4-on-4 for a minute and 3. And then a momentary NB Ice power play. And that is going to be Bowden Dunphy, 2 for interference. As now there's more space on the ice. An advantage for both teams, especially McClellan here with some space. McClellan, the shot, save, the rebound loose in the slot. A backhand try, and it goes back for McDonald. McDonald maybe all alone, shakes off LeBlanc, send him to the ground. Now it's to dangle another. McDonald all alone, the shot just misses the net, and what a play from Riley McDonald going coast to coast and just unable to finish. Bishop at the line, the shot will go into the glove of Massey. The whistle at 3:21 in our second period, and here's the breakaway coming up from McDonald. Has to cut to the middle right away as there was a diving NB Ice player. Off the draw. McDonald pinched, but now the ice go the other way. Dumais trying to shake off Bishop. Dumais in with the shot, and that was a good defensive play by Dempsey to break up that shot. Ice with it at the line. They'll bank it off the boards. Lijal waiting, moving to his right, cutting in. It's now an NB Ice power play for about 50 seconds. Silverbacks trying to move it up. Ice work their way back in. It's a breakaway. Here walking in. Nevere with the shot, saved. But there's a penalty coming up against the Silverbacks. So what a chance. And a penalty taken by McDonald, but maybe saved a goal in the process of doing so.
Well, the NB Ice side of the stands clearly asking for a penalty shot.
And it very much could be a penalty shot here. Neve is clearly all alone with a decent bit of time. But still a 5-on-3. For just 40 seconds, there's a shot from Degg at the blue line. That one's taken by Berkfins and sent out the zone. Jesse Daigle back with it, circling in and then moving his way in the zone. Cuts past 2, looks out in the slot, unable to get the pass off. Still with it, backhand, backdoor, one-timer made from Neve. And didn't have much power on it. Another face-off. NBI still on the 5-on-3. That's only going to last about 5 seconds, however. That's now a risky move on the 5-on-3. Kong brings it in. Moves his way all the way behind the net. So now just a 5-on-4. And they're now moving back. Kong. Now full shot. Pass it in front from the blue line. Beck with the shot. And that one just deflects off of something and goes wide. Trying to move that back in front was Tommy Beckwith. Now put back to the line. Cormier waits and shoots. Hits her own teammate. Now may have another try. Cutting to the middle. Beckwith. He has a drive. And that one's blocked by the Pana McKenzie. Another try. And another save made. Noel McKenzie absolutely bombarded with shots here in the late stages of this second period. Now just 48 seconds still to go on the Ryland McDonald tripping call. I'd like to acknowledge the current 60 watching along here for the semifinals between the NB Ice and the Silverbacks in the 2025 East Coast Ice Battle. Ice moving their way behind the net. Quickly breaking out of his own zone is Dagda. Dagda working up the line, split the D, and had a shot that just slid off his stick and gone wide. Lou in his own end, waits and throws it up, blocked at the line. Dagda steps in, puts one on net, and that one's just wide of the left post. Not much time left in the penalty or the period for that matter. Now a pass out, high slot shot by McClellan, and that one was blocked before it could get there. McClellan again. Works his way behind the net, looks out for options, looks out in front, penalty over as McDonald comes out of the box as the puck had just went right by it, but he is instructed to go to the bench. Reed setting it in the zone, Jackson Reed, he's quickly poke checked. Leblanc shooting it out for Lou. Trying to move back, potential breakaway, walking in, backhand shot, saved by McKenzie, and he gets hit into the net. Looks like that was Cedric Lejean. But went up on a breakaway. He has a goal here in this one. And was close to making it 2. Here on this replay. Had himself all alone, little backhander, then lost his footing. We now have just 16 and some left to go in period 2 on what has been an excellent game to watch so far on this Sunday morning. Championship Sunday. There's a shot gloved down by McKenzie. That kills off 4 seconds. Off the draw to the middle and trying to put it on net was a diving Harrison Neve. Then the Silverbacks move it outside their zone. Bro back to the line. They'll pin it up against the boards involving Whitehead and a couple Ice players. And the buzzer sounds to end our second period here on MST.
Well, through the first 2 periods of play, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
Well, in the second period especially, the NB Ice have absolutely dominated possession, not allowing the Silverbacks to leave their zone. And when they did, they got to the neutral zone and usually no further.
I think, honestly, the NB Ice, to win this game, they just need to be, just continue what they've been doing all game. I don't think they've been doing anything wrong. Massim, playing amazing in net, and the offense doing their job. But on the Silverbacks end, they need to watch those passing.
The NB Ice have absolutely been cycling. Adding on to what you said about watching the passing lanes, they've been cycling the puck the whole time like they're on a man advantage. And also for the NB Ice, they don't need to be too offensive. Just keep the puck outside the neutral zone in their end. Goal differential not going to matter here in the semis as long as they can get the W and move on to this afternoon. Ice will clear it in, now it's going to go behind the cage of McKenzie. Dempsey picking up, was being chased by Lejeune, so he had to go back the other way. Blocked it at the line, Beckwith gonna have a shot. This one's blocked by Reed, and it might be a break. Stepping in here, what a move. It's Fleming unable to get a shot off. A great back check before Fleming was able to get a shot off. Reed trying to go down into the zone. He's almost knocked off balance. Now it's sent to the line. McDonald waits and goes D to D, cycling the puck. Waits, there's a shot save made by the glove of Massé.
Well, the Silverbacks showing some signs of life here with some early offense here in the third period.
Cycling the puck similarly to the NB Ice. Beautifully with a D to D pass. And getting it to the net. That's what you want to do. Unfortunately for them, Massé not giving up a rebound. But here they go, the shot that takes a weird hop off a body and goes wide of the net. Around the boards it'll go as the Ice now try to exit the zone. Turning back with it is Comey. Waiting up against the wall. They'll take a hop and go outside the zone. Back for it is McDonald to the Silverbacks. Moves it across over for Kong. That's Dunphy rather. Try to get past Dempsey. Now moving back for the Ice is McCarthy. Being pushed into the corner by McDonald. A beautiful angle out. It's McDonald and McCarthy still up and battling in that corner. Ice try to bring it out. McDonald now. And we have a hurt enemy Ice player in that same corner they were just battling. And it looks like he'll get up on his own. No coach needed. So luckily not looking like a very serious injury. And it is Felix McCarthy. Silverbacks off the draw. They try to move it along the wall. Too many players there. They will finally get over to the home penalty box. They battle up right against the wall. Kong in there. Beckwith. Now it goes back for McClellan. McClellan trying to step up. Now taken back by the Silverbacks and moved back in. There's a pass from Savoie. Now back for Berkvins. Try to get that one over for Whitehead. Now taken by the NBI's back with possession in the middle. Now Beckwith trying to move his way in, and he is crunched against the boards by Kong. There was a pass attempt from Martin to try to get that one over from McClellan. Empty net now for the NBI's as they are on a delayed penalty, and they score! Jack Martin in front of the net.
Well, the Silverbacks get way too aggressive on the puck carrier and completely forget the sixth man who is waiting right in front of the net.
And that's a successful delayed penalty goal. As we see right here, Martin is just waiting all alone in front of that net. No one near him, and he gets the puck and makes no mistake to bury it. That's going to be a 3-0 NB Ice lead. Here as we get started the third period. Moving back into the zone now is Neve. Being tied up, so now it's dropped off for Yannick Leger. To the line, Nico Leblanc waits, fakes the shot, goes across, back to the middle, they score! And what a tic-tac-toe play by the NB Ice.
Just, wow, what a play. The passes straight to the stick of each other, and that results in the 4-0 goal.
And that is the nicest passing play I believe we've seen here in this tournament. It looks like it's Harrison Neve that's going to get the goal. And what a fake to start off at the blue line. Nico Leblanc fakes everyone out, even had us fooled that he was going to shoot, and makes a perfect pass to the back door. So that's Neve from Leblanc and Dumais. And what a goal that was. And the prior goal just 20 seconds before is Martin from McClellan and Leblanc. So Nico Leblanc with 2 assists here in 20 seconds. And now we have an injured Silverback down on the ice. And again, hopefully no serious injury. We'll head to a quick timeout here on MST. And it looks like they are up all right. And trying to tell who exactly it is. And it looks like that's Xavier Ruzic keeping, who is thankfully up and all right. It's a 4-0 game in favor of the NBIs, who have dominated this game and have just played impeccable so far. At the line, it was thrown against the wall by Bro, then chucked back out into neutral end. Gabe Savoie waits and throws into the zone, deflected off the stick of McDonald and out. Bishop, little pass over for Kong. Kong trying to move up, he gets to the NBI's blue line, and that's about it. They work back out in neutral ice. It's Beckwith turning it over, now the other way. Here's Bro stepping in, he's taken down. And apologies, that was Felix McCarthy that was on the breakaway. Here's Bro at center, passing to the middle. They try to get that one over for Fulshao. McDonald now flipping it past McCarthy. Kong in there as well. Kong with the puck, working up, quickly upended by Cormier and Fulshao. Therefore, checking in the zone is Fleming. Now getting it down deep into the NBA zone. In to help him is Kong, fletching. Now passed out McClellan, trying to poke it by defenseman Dempsey. McClellan out wide with the shot, and that one goes off the boards. All other four NBI players are making changes, so McClellan was left alone. Now has some reinforcements, but it's Kong that's bringing it outside the zone. Now back from the NBI's defense, up with speed. Leblanc waiting, leaving it off. McClellan, the shot, that one blocked out in front by Kong. He now picks up his own blocks and goes behind the net, falls down in the corner. NBI's will now take possession back once again. Martin, I tried to throw it to the middle. Now the Silverbacks will exit the zone and go back the other way. It's Whitehead up against the boards, is taken down. It's going to be an NBI's penalty. So now the Silverbacks with an opportunity to get on the board here in this one.
Well, with just over 7 minutes to go, I think we can both agree so far it's been all NBI's, just all over the Silverbacks, putting together beautiful passing plays, beautiful zone entries, just a near perfect game.
And that has been one of their keys so far. Their passing plays in the offensive zone. It's like no other team that we've seen, especially with that tic-tac-toe goal. And otherwise, cycling it through the offensive and neutral zone beautifully. As now in the penalty kill. Bring it up with Yannick Lijau. Will go pinned up against the boards. Bro at the blue line. His shot. Now it's just going to be tapped wide. Berkvin's along the boards. Moving it for Drew Bishop. Bishop to the middle for Reed. Reed trying to see Whitehead. Fans on it, then passes it right to Dumais. Dumais up in the zone, past Berkvin's. Now losing it in his feet. Now it's Berkvin's off some skates, and now over for Reed. Over for Bishop. Had a stick lifted. Silverbacks now regrouping. Now it's Whitehead across on the opposite end of the ice. Now bring it up with speed. Trying to poke, check it off. There was Bro. Dumped into the NBI's end. Only ice players. Back off the board. It's going to be brought in, and then they're offside. It's the back lines, but ends up getting that call. So it's number 16, Tommy Beckwith, currently in the box for a body check. Only 47 seconds left on his call. Now out to center. A miscommunication by the Silverbacks defense gives a chance for the NBI's to walk up. McClellan almost with a chance. Ruzic keeping. Up past center. It's a 3-on-2 for the Silverbacks. Working in with the shot. And that one's turned away by Massé. Will go back behind the net. Leblanc being tied up here by Kong. Kong working up, trying to move that to the middle. And a good play by Nico Leblanc. At the line, Lou barely unable to hold it in. Now moving outside the zone, Neve brought back by LeBlanc. Penalty to Beckwith now expires, so that's the end of the Silverbacks man advantage as there's just 5 minutes left in this game. Lou going back from McClellan, they collide with the linesman as it's now gone behind the net over for Graham. Jamie Graham trying to go up the boards, held under the line by Savoie. Flipped out, there's Kong. Neve getting in with the shot. That one's just wide of the net. McNeil being chased as he goes falling down. Another Silverback going falling, McClellan holding his ground at the line. Kong trying to poke for it as well as Lou. Out to the middle, LeBlanc will clear it in as now both teams with a chance to make some changes. Graham behind the net. Waits and goes along the wall. Move to the middle here by Fleming. Into the middle, Ruzig keeping. Trying to move his way into the zone. Poked away by Comny. And the ice back the other way. McCarthy across. That one's picked off by McDonald as he now tries to poke it in between the feet, and a good play. Rylan McDonald ending that 2-on-1 and then getting it out into neutral ice. And another great play. He blocks a pass. Now the Silverbacks other way. There's a shot from Reed. That one will miss the net. Rim around the boards. It's going to be Dunphy keeping it in the zone. Falls to one leg. Gets back up quickly. Still tied up for possession. It's thrown out in front by the backhand of Whitehead and brought out by the NB Ice. Out with speed. Bro moves along the right wing. Still waits. Moves it out in front and tried to hit Fulshell. Another try off the skate of Fulshell. And now to be brought out by Ruzig keeping. Pass in the middle. On the tape of Whitehead. Up with speed. Cuts wide past Dagla. Out in front. I tried to hit Reed back door, but it was a bouncing puck. Up to the blue line. McDonald waits and gets it. Tries to move it down past the ringette line. Blocked by Comey. Martin back the other way. Martin waits. Cuts wide. Hits the brakes. Comes back a little bit along the hash marks. That goes down deep in the zone. Dempsey being caught up against the boards by Lejao. Poked free, Bishop to the middle. Bishop still continues up with it along the boards. Brought back by Reed. Reed and Bishop fighting for it for the Silverbacks. Martin in there for the ice. Bishop hitting the brakes. It's in between his feet. Moves by one. Continues with it. Pass out in front. Now just 2 minutes left to go in this third period. In what has been a very exciting game. LeBlanc over the blue line, in between the feet of Whitehead. Moving along the wall, Martin trying to cut to the middle. Now blocked and sent to the middle in neutral ice by Rylan McDonald. LeBlanc puts it perfectly behind the net of McKenzie. Giving chase on it here is Dempsey. Has a bit of room, will try to throw it to the middle, and that one goes right to the tape of Bro. Bro, a pass up in between the feet of McClellan. They get it back. Bro still with it. Tristan Bro cuts wide, looks in front. Bro waits and goes colliding against the boards where it's shot back in by Savoie. In the zone now, Dumais. Waits, climbs on the wall, pinned by Kong, now taken away by Rylan McDonald. Up back for Kong. Poked loose, there's McDonald giving chase. Ice with the shot, they score! And give Harrison Neve his second of the game at just 1:09 left to go in this third period. And now it makes it an odd number 5-0. McNeil up for the Silverbacks as we get to our last minute of play here in our second semifinal game. Dumais working up, right wing, the sharp angle shot off the side of the net. Ruzig keeping. Around the boards on his backhand. Cutting past the blue line into the middle of the ice. This one taken away and put along the wall by Cowper. Now McNeil cutting into the zone, taken down, and a penalty coming up against the NBA, so they'll touch up, and at 36 seconds exactly, gonna have a Silverbacks man advantage coming up. So the man with 2 goals, Harrison Neve, going to take a tripping call here to end this game as the Silverbacks now go on the man advantage for 2 minutes. To the blue line, waiting. Berkvins with a shot deflected, but a save made by Massey. Here's Reed in to take the face off. Unsuccessful. Now it's put against the wall by Cedric Legel. Blocked by Berkvins. Has a shot. Blocked. McNeil off his body to the middle. Reed with a chance. Side of the net. And that one's swatted away. Now a backhander going to the point. Berkvins waits. Now Banks went along the wall. Goes to Reed. Tries to throw that on front. Hits the side of the net. Back to the blue line. Riley Berkvins with a shot. Blocked on her 3rd attempt. Now going back the other way. McCarthy is without a stick. Now being shot into the zone by Martin, and that will be our game. The NB Ice are off to the finals later this afternoon. And we thank the 70 currently watching live as this game ends here on MST. The NB Ice with a score of 5, and the Silverbacks unfortunately with no score. And we invite you to continue watching for our player of the game ceremonies and our interview post-game with the MVP of the NB Ice.
All right, mic check, check. Mic check, check. All right. Mic check, check. All right. We're here with Yannick Legel, MVP of the NBA. Buddy, you're going to the gold medal game. How are you feeling?
Good.
What do you think you did to earn MVP at the match today?
I worked hard.
And what do you think your team